Our faves, yours and mine, howbeit with great intentions, have preached the gospel of overeating, aka gluttony, in the name of self-care. So particularly as Christian women, we hear things like, women, mothers, when you leave here today, make sure you go home, get to the market, buy a very big catfish, prepare it well, sit down and finish it by yourself. You need to take care of yourself. But what we don't realize is that these things actually do more harm to us than good. Are you looking to overcome this deadly behavior and you like to imbibe healthier self-care habits? Then you should keep watching this video. So without sounding unnecessarily deep, scientific, or complicated, overeating is simply eating too much, right? When you are not hungry and you eat. When you're already full and you still keep eating. Overeating is simply eating too much. And what are a few reasons why people eat too much? A couple of reasons, but I'll just share three very quickly. The first one is what we call habitual eating. So there are certain habits that you build around eating, such as the common one: you must eat 3 times a day, right? So even when you're not hungry, you feel like you must eat in the morning, you must eat in the afternoon, you must eat at night. Or you feel like, okay, anytime I'm going to bed, I must have some snacks. Even when you're not hungry, I must have a cup of tea. I must have some bread. It's just a habit that you've built, not necessarily because you're hungry. That is habitual overeating. Then we also have the conditioning, right? So I'll explain this with a story. When I was growing up, I lived with my grandmom and my aunt for a few months to years. And there was a culture of you must not waste food. So when they're dishing the food, they ask you, can you finish this? The moment you say YES, you must necessarily finish that food, whether you like it or not, whether you're full to your throat or not, right? And aren't we doing that to our children these days? I know I do it to my children. When I serve them food, I'm like, you must finish it, because I've been conditioned that way. And I'm passing on that trauma, that conditioning, even onto my children. So that's conditioning that makes us to overeat. We just feel like, okay, we must not waste food, and so we must finish everything that is on our plates. People have different conditionings. As I'm saying this, just think about your own conditioning that makes you overeat, and try to share that with me in the comment section. The third one is the hedonic eating, and that was what I did my intro with. Eating for pleasure, eating for joy, that conscious overeating. You know that you should not finish this fish, but because you feel like, I have worked too hard, I must enjoy this, you settle down and you finish it because you find pleasure in it. It gives you joy, it gives you satisfaction doing that. But guess what? Like I said, we are actually destroying ourselves much more than we are building up ourselves with the deadly behavior of overeating. So I'm sure somebody is saying, Ruth, please leave me and my food alone. No, you don't understand how much stress I'm going through. I work so hard. I work too hard. Do you know when I get home every day? Do you know when I leave the house every day? I'm sweating. And you think I should not compensate myself with food? In fact, my sister, data is behind you, because there's this research that was done by Health and Safety Statistics, and they showed, research revealed that women between the ages of 35 and 54 are significantly more stressed, right, than their male counterparts. So we know that women are stressed for obvious reasons, right? You're the homemaker, you're working to bring in money, you are doing multiple side businesses, you are volunteering at your church, you're doing so many things. So I get it, I understand it. There is so much that you're doing. And if I'm telling you to stop overeating or to stop eating for pleasure, basically, it's like, okay, you're telling me now that I should just cut out, na fat, I no keep person. I should just cut out food and all that. I know you're going to be saying all that. I know that hunger will knock on the door when you just suddenly say, that's bedtime hot chocolate, which Nigerians call tea, right? That thick tea that I normally take at bedtime. Ruth is saying I should cut it out, right? That mountain of food that I usually eat up for myself. Ruth is saying I should cut it down. I'm going to feel hungry. How am I going to separate from it? Guess what? I understand even the science behind it, that the food that actually give us the most pleasure, right, are they have this effect on our brain. They release dopamine. It's like hard drug that is being released when we eat those kind of foods. And so there's that addiction tendency, that comes with that. So what can we do? as against just cutting down your 4 usual noodles to 1, or reducing your hungry man to the small pack, right? I'll encourage that you do what we call substitution. So don't just go cold turkey, because that's how people just, fall off the track of trying to, before they even start their healthier you journey, right? They fall off the track because they try to make very harsh changes and go cold turkey on things that they were enjoying before. But like I told you, there's like an mini addiction going on there. So you have to be strategic in your approach so that you can stay long on this new path, right? So here's what you're going to do. If you usually have 5 servings of rice, right? Reduce it to 2, replace the other 3 with veggies, with salad, with, any other fiber-rich alternative that you like. Some people might like salad, some people might like a foriro, right? Some people might like okra, right? Just replace it with something else. But let your plate still look as full as it usually looks, and let your tummy feel as full as it usually feels. But guess what? The difference is that the constituents, the combination of what you have consumed is very different. So you're thinking, Ruth, so why should I really stop overeating? You haven't said anything, just telling me what to do and how to go about it. Let me share with you why you should stop overeating. Overeating puts you at high risk of obesity. Obesity puts you at high risk of chronic disease conditions like hypertension and other heart conditions, diabetes, cancers, sleep disorders, and many more, just because you are overeating. You're altering a lot of things in your body because you're loading your body with much more than it requires. Now, let's just take an example, right, of a car. So fuel is to a car as food is to the body. So would you say, because I love this car so much, I'm going to go to the fuel station, even when it is full, I'll still keep putting fuel there? Would you do that? Or would you say, because I love this car so much, I know it needs fuel, but I would rather give it ice cream, or I'll give it rosé wine, right? Just so that it's just to show my love for the car. That's what we're doing to our bodies. Our bodies need a particular type of nutrient to be maintained, to be nourished, to be able to be functional for us. But we feel like, I've worked so hard, I need to take care of my body, and then we begin to load it. Instead of loading the car with fuel, we begin to load it with ice cream. We begin to load it with rosé. The difference between the car and the body is that if you load the car with ice cream, it will not even move, right? It will just die for you there. But because God has given us such amazing bodies, right? It takes time to try to adapt, to try to work it out, to try to get the nutrients it can from what you're feeding it. Or it's trying to understand, is a famine coming? Why are we eating so much? Okay, let's store it up as fat, It's trying to understand, it's trying to adapt to whatever it is you're giving it. But further down the line, it will definitely catch up. It will definitely catch up. So we have to treat food more as fuel than for pleasure. I'm not saying don't eat to enjoy what you're eating, right? But you have to prioritize functionality over pleasure. You are eating to fuel your body. You're eating to nourish your body, not just for the pleasure, right? Food is not evil. Gluttony is. In fact, the Bible terms it one of the deadly sins. Quick recap. I understand that life is stressful. I understand that even as women, we are even more stressed. I understand that there is so much going on in your life, and eating is like an escape for you. I know that if you want to stop overeating, it's going to take a lot of discipline. You're going to have to do a lot of things. You're going to feel hungry. You're going to feel denied. But guess what? You're doing it for your own good, because you will not fuel your car with ice cream as against the normal fuel that it requires. Food is more for the functionality than it is for pleasure. So on to the freebie that I promised you, right? Enough of the seriousness. What are 7 things that you can do for free that will help you rejuvenate your body, that will help you refresh, that will help you relax? 7 things. Number 1, breathe. Number 2, you can cry if you're stressed. Crying is so therapeutic. Number 3, laugh. Number 4, take a walk. Number 5, speak to a loved one. Number 6, dance. Number 7, take a nap. Sleep. There's this joke that's going around about when there was a storm, Jesus slept. when Daniel was in the lion's den, Daniel slept. Guess what? When you're stressed, do what? Sleep and enjoy yourself. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, share with a friend, and I will see you next time. Bye.